My name is Kyra Smith. I was born in Seattle, then moved to St. Louis, and then ended up in California for most of my life, and now live in New York City. As of about half of a year, I am a phobia counselor, and that is dealing mostly with phobias of social anxiety and public speaking. Like I said, I was born in Seattle, and I'll just talk straight out about social anxiety and public speaking anxiety, how that kicked in with my childhood. I remember at a very young age, probably maybe around 3, I was dropped into an Easter egg hunt. My neighbor took me to an Easter egg hunt, dropped me in there, and I panicked because there were all these kids around me, and I realized at that moment that I had social anxiety, and no one else seemed to have this issue. And I felt so ashamed of it. So that was my first sense of it. And then about a couple years later, I had an allergic reaction to a drug that was given to me. And I developed third-degree burns from it. Internal burns, not from a fire. And so I was in the burn unit when I was 5 for about a month. And during that time, torturous things. They had to scrub off skin every day, and it was just torturous. So it was a big trauma. But on top of that, I had grown from this reaction, I had grown a tumor above my eye. It was underneath my eyelid. So from 5 to about 12 years old, I walked around like this. I already had social anxiety, age 3, and then added this on top. Every time you meet a person, you're looking straight in their eyes. And I had this defect. And I could tell as soon as I looked at somebody that they were focusing on this and not anything I said, nothing about me. So that just increased the anxiety a million times. So that was a huge turning point in my life. And then on top of that, I have a genetic predisposition. My father has social anxiety. My brother has social anxiety. So it's just coming at all angles. So that was, anxiety throughout my childhood. It was hard. I, did a lot of isolation. That was how I coped. I would stay in my room hours and hours at a time after I left school. Before I got into therapy, I just stayed in the house, read books. And but once I started gaining a little bit more confidence, I forced myself into going into group situations that were comfortable. And learning bit by bit how to interact with people. So that's not just about my childhood, that's kind of my whole life. And I'm finally getting to the point where I can help other people with this problem. It wasn't until I started taking public speaking classes and taking social anxiety classes that I learned how to take care of this problem. Most of it I learned when I moved to New York City. So what I learned was the way to deal with this is gradual exposure in manageable steps. Not throwing myself into a party of 500 people and saying, go make some friends. It's go to a party, stay there for 5 minutes, leave. Next week, go to the party, stay there for 10 minutes, leave. Next time, maybe approach one person, leave. So that you eventually just build up your confidence. And it's worked for me. And then same thing with public speaking, it's worked for me. I've conquered so much as far as my fear goes, interpersonal relations, public speaking. Now my fears, as far as running a group, have been semi-conquered. It was always an issue. I always wanted to help people, but who am I to run a group? Who am I to help anybody? And I'm getting over that. So it's almost like I've come full circle. Dealt with my issues, and now I'm helping other people deal with their issues. It's fun. I think communication, like I said, once you change your perception on what it is, I think it's fun. It's almost like an art. People say interesting things, you bat something back. It's like a tennis match. So I think it's fun. Of course you're helping people. That's number one. What most people say is, I'm helping people. Yeah, you're helping people. But I could work in a soup kitchen and help people. But it wouldn't be that much fun. So I enjoy it. My skills increase and I'm helping people at the same time. I am a phobia counselor. And what that is, at least in this sphere here at this institution, is just teaching people to face their fears in manageable steps. That's it.